new moon in Aquarius today, January 29th, 28th, 29th. I need to check. 29th, I think. And I would like to do a heart chakra guided meditation right now. And if you follow your guidance, your questions, okay, let's try to enter a theme of self-love, of moments that you could have stepped into your own needs, okay? And I ask you then to sit and take a few nice breaths. And as your breathing regulates all by itself, I ask you to allow your mind, your thoughts to do what it needs to do. You just focus on breathing in and breathing out, avoiding holding breath, and staying with each breath in and out as you focus. Allowing your thoughts to move fluidly all the way through. Pay attention to sensations in your body, emotions that might be coming up. And if the theme is about self-care, self-love, I want you to see if you can detect situations that you've been through in the last few days that you realized afterwards, perhaps, that you could have said something different to protect your space, to set boundaries, to choose you, to demonstrate your needs. And how did you feel afterwards? Was there any guilt? Was there any feeling of selfishness? Or perhaps maybe you did say something to protect you, to show your needs, and you felt selfish. Was that moment of self-guilt, self-blame, or even self-shame? Because these are the things that perhaps will come up for you to see, for you to feel, to release, to acknowledge, release, accept, forgive, and bring a new version of yourself that can step into your own love, into your own needs, express with love, and not feel these self-guilt feelings, but also trust that when you step into your self-love with love for you and for others, to understand and trust that it's well accepted by others, much better accepted than when we try to impose our self-love from spaces of trauma, conditioning, guilt, selfishness. These are the times that can be very difficult for others to accept and understand and even see it. But when we centered ourselves in our hearts, in our love, in our self-love, and we are able to express this, that the response is also loving, also acceptance, also understanding from the other side. Because we're working with reciprocity, duality, but we're setting a space within us to be able to express that. And where is that space within yourself? Do you know where you can feel your heart and your love? And this is, sometimes it's helpful to step into guided meditations because it assists you to get into those spaces a bit quicker. And once you learn, you're able to do it on your own. It's only a temporary tool that you could use to teach yourself how to get into your own loving space in your own heart chakra. And I ask you to breathe a little bit deeper into your heart space. You can imagine a color that you're breathing in and feeling the space in your chest. Feeling a feeling of expansion, of swirling, of movement, of changing perceptions. Could be in your head, could be in your chest, could be in your tummy. And I ask you to allow these movements to just happen. And you just observe with your breathing. You don't need to find out what it is. You don't need to redirect. You don't need to stop. This is the trust that I'm guiding you to learn. Just the trust. Trust that whatever is happening is needed to happen. It's being guided by your higher self, by your guides. As you enter this portal of this heart chakra guided meditation, you're being assisted to learn how to feel the love in your heart space in different ways, deeper, faster. And you need to allow everything to happen. You're just the observer, because that's the trusting position. You observe and you trust. You don't question nothing, just observe. And we wait until all these sensations are starting to settling down, almost feeling like slowing down or relieving or calming. It's calming down. And you allow it. And you're allowing this resonance, this frequency to settle in your chest, settle in your heart space. You are now merging with the portal of love in this community. Take nice deep breath into your belly and your chest and allow to feel your space, your body space with this light, with this portal, with this energy, or feeling energy. Allow it to go within you. We're not questioning anything yet, just feeling, observing. Allowing all the thoughts to do what it needs to do. And as we're anchoring our hearts in this portal, you might feel a heavy weight in your chest. You're anchoring, you're merging. For me to understand what this means, I had to do many times through without questioning. And then one day the answer came and I understood what was happening. I'm guiding you, which will help you understand some processes of meditation a bit quicker. Where you have your own interpretation as well that you need to follow and trust. And if you feel counterintuitive to not follow what I'm saying, it's absolutely correct and right. And you do what you need to do. And now is the time to ask. You're entering the new moon energy that is available and open for you to bring you the introduction of your healing through the process of healing and the moon phases that we will merge from this point on to work together with these energies. And you can ask anything you want about your self-love and your self-care, how to overcome the challenges, how to step in your own power, how to say no without feeling guilty. You pick your question out and put it in your heart. And so it is. The answers will come. You need to trust. Or some answers might have come already. And I'm going to ask you to collect your energy back to you from the portal, leaving what's not yours, and only retrieving back your energy back to your heart. Own your own energy back to you and leave behind what's not yours. And if you just set the intention to say it and you don't know if it's happening, it doesn't matter. You just set the intention and it's happening. It's just that you're just not sensitive enough to feel, but it is happening. Just say it with conviction and give it a moment. And this sensitiveness will come through the more we engage in this portal, the more you practice. Okay. Beautiful. This is the time to go back to your life. Okay. Forget about what you asked to journal and pay attention to the synchronicities. Okay. And I will share the cards that I picked right before the call. And hopefully that will bring some messages for all of us. Not all cards will be relevant to one person, but let's see if at least some of the cards can elicit some memory, some remembrance for you to help you until the next week's call. And then shortly after the reading cards, I will explain a little bit what things you can do to continue the process. Okay. So direction guardian, choose your path. And I think this is exactly what we've just done. We have chosen something that we want to step into to be able to start the healing process on that chosen path. Yeah, you chose one thing to heal, and that's your path. You are on the path. You're being guided, you're being guarded, protected. You have your spirit animals, your angels. They're going to come up in your day-to-day life, and that's why it's important to stay present in your day-to-day life, to be able to notice when these not necessarily these animals, but your animals, your spirit animals, your totem animals will come up more often this week. Pay attention. And this is one of the things you can do in this week. When they come up, think about the thought process you were having at the moment that you saw them, or perhaps the situation that you're in, what emotions were coming up, what thoughts were coming up, what was the pattern of that situation for you. And then it will give you more messages of more awareness, more understanding, deeper understanding of exactly you are healing, you are going into for this healing. So the new moon is about this discovery phase of what is the depth of this healing that I'm going to look into. Okay. And I'm showing the cards in the order I picked as well. The seventh ray of ritual, order and ceremony. So I did read this card a little bit before, and it talks about you understanding the depth of what you asked to be healed. Okay, it will come through synchronicity, situations, patterns, um, uh, programming, conditioning. But then it will be up to you to make a relevance and a discernment of those situations and really ask the questions then. Why am I speaking this way? Why am I answering this way? Why am I not stepping into my need? Those are the moments during the new moon phase to add a few more questions to in these moments. And that's why I say go back to your real life, very, very present, because those present moments that you're going to notice and be able to bring more questions that will bring more depth and the answers will come. Okay. And if you need to set some rituals, for example, to sit in meditation right after something like that happens, so you can just sit, go in your heart, and breathe, receive. You don't need to question. And then write it if you need to write, or just crack on with life. Yeah. Just the fact that you asking questions as the situations are coming, that is a ritual. Yeah. So you're learning the the aspect of awareness. Okay. You're bringing even more awareness to things that are happening, but you're staying grounded, you're staying present in your day-to-day moment. Yeah. But you can then tap into these 5D awareness and go, right, why am I feeling this? Why is this emotion coming up? What does that mean? Where does it come from? Why did I say it that way? Yeah. And it's not a way of questioning to judge yourself or criticize, but it's a way of opening your subconscious to more understanding of where those things come from, and always to be able to see it with love. Yeah. The restorer. Um, this card also brings quite a lot of and spirit animals. It looks like a soldier resting, perhaps maybe restoring himself. Okay. There is the poppy flowers in there. Poppy flowers are very powerful in remembrance. Okay, so you're remembering, and this is what the questions are going to trigger in your subconscious to remember previous past lives, or even inner childhood moments where that feeling first came in a specific situation there, and we're still carrying today. And as you remember this, you are restoring the story, okay, to be able to see it with the lenses of love, with the resources that you have today, the person that you are today, with the resources, the understanding that you have today, and to restore the story. How can you see the story in a different lens? How can you see the story in a different light? You be restoring yourself as well. And just to remind, the new moon is a quiet moment. It's a moment of rest. But when I say a moment of rest, it's not a moment, a phase for much action. It's a phase for you to walk around the earth, observing, going bing, bing, bing in your mind, just like getting all this information. Okay, it can be a bit overwhelming sometimes. You can always ask your higher self to slow down things for you. But ultimately, the new moon is a moment of awareness. You're not acting, you're not pushing, you're not going for it, you're not deciding, you're not making choices. Yeah. It's a moment, and this is what you're going to do. Perhaps I'm already expressing here through the card reading what to expect for the next week. So pay attention because the messages are coming as well. And it's just a moment of observation, making notes, observations, making notes, choosing what lenses you want to see and perceive those remembrance. Okay. Because you have amazing resources today that, they were amazing then, but they were the resources you had then, and now you have resources that you have now, which are complementary to help you understand deeper and in more depth what's happened in the past and how you coped, how you perceived, how you manage, how you still keeping it here in this space, in the present moment, and how you can let go. Okay. And reaction. And again, like I said, it's not a phase for reaction. Yeah. It's a reaction within, because everything that you're going to notice and become aware is going to feel like you need to react. But you will have another type of reaction within you, which is a change of perception. And I think I literally just touched that on the last few sentences from the last card. What's going to come up to you is you're going to have like a chain reaction of going through different lenses, because you're going to see the remembrance with the lenses that you had then. And then as you move through the lenses, you're going to start to notice that you're using different resources of yourself that you've learned over the years. And then when you get to the resources that you are today, you're going to be like, right, okay, I know how this happened then and how I interpret then, but now I see that that wasn't really how it happened, and how can I change my perception of that? So you're going to have these reactions within through the new moon. It's a very inner active moment, but it's a very passive external to everyone that is watching you. They'll be like, you're just wandering around, observing, doing nothing. And this is exactly what it looks like. Okay, so that's the new moon phase. Lots of awareness, very active, very, very busy in here sometimes, in the heart, yeah, in the sensations, in the emotions. Not so much of the emotions, but the sensations and mind. And that's why it's important every day in this phase or every time you have these moments of awareness, to just sit with a few breaths in your heart and really go in and hone all that in, because you want to continue to align the mind with the heart. Okay. We need to have that alignment constantly. We need to rebalance, because we can go like this in the mind, and derail. And we don't want to derail during the new moon, because what's coming for the full moon is very, very intense in terms of emotion. That's why I said there's not a lot of emotions during the new moon, but it's a moment for you to keep rebalancing, yeah, the thoughts and the heart. So it's important, again, something to do this week is important to sit down and have a breathing time and just go within, even if it's a minute, but you can do that a few times a day or when things come to you, and just breathe and trust that you are receiving the information you need. You might not receive it at a specific moment that you're sitting with your breath, but it will come later through synchronicity. So just a reminder. Magnetism. So magnetism is a little bit of a crossover between the new moon and the quarter moon. So I think we're getting to the end stage of the new moon here. Okay. I feel like the cards are giving me a bit of a perspective for this new moon phase. So magnetism. So what happens here, because you then are becoming very aware of yourself, of the ways you have dealt with situations, it almost feels like more of those situations are going to come up. So you attract more of these situations, okay? And as you are transitioning into the first quarter, first quarter is a moment that you start making a little bit of choices. You might miss one or two, but then another situation you find yourself, yeah, I've made that choice a little bit different, a little bit more towards directed to my self-love. Okay. And other situations will come because you're magnetizing those situations towards you. So we're going to happen more often. And it's going to, of course, elicit more memories, more remembrance, more flashbacks, more sensations, emotions. And it's then us slowly making little choices. Okay. We don't make big choices until after the full moon um, in the last quarter. Really, that is the moment of action. That is I'm gonna put everything new now. Okay. But this is you tapping into some choices, tapping into some way of reacting differently than before, and you think, oh yeah, that felt different. Oh, that definitely felt like I reacted in a way that set boundaries, protected my self-care, or perhaps enhance my self-care. So it's a hit and miss. It's a hit and miss. Okay. So you're transitioning from the new moon to the first quarter moon, and you are magnetizing these situations, these moments for you to slowly step in, take your time, don't push, don't overrun it. It's really a moment of slow and hit and miss moment. It's okay. Okay. But those that are perfectionists out there, it's a very difficult moment. I was one of those, because you're going to think that you're always missing the opportunity to do different. And even through those missing, if you stay there long enough, you realize there is a lesson. Okay. Which then minimizes the perfect um, perfectionism that we are stuck in. Okay, so that also helps, also brings perspectives. Archangel Drenka, hone your psychic abilities, see through the illusion. And the bat is also a big message of remembrance that triggers shadow. So through the end of the new moon, and I can feel my heart really, yeah, I can feel the shadow energy now. So and into the first quarter moon, we are, you know, in a mixture of a bit of a shadow, a light, not releasing, but realizing things a little deeper. Perhaps there could be a bit of, emotional, an emotional cry, and it's allowing those emotional cries to come through. They are good, okay. They need to be seen in a good light. Um, it's a small release. This is a starting of the releasing phase. Okay, the full moon is huge for releasing, so we are preparing ourselves. And whatever you cried a little bit about something in the first quarter moon, most likely you're going to cry a lot in the full moon. Okay, so allow it, because messages will come, information will come. And it's asking you to hone your psychic abilities here. And it's exactly this. You are picking up how you become aware. You're picking up all the synchronicities. These are psychic abilities. You're picking up your intuition. Okay. You're picking up your subconscious. You're picking up um, on how to sense these energies. These are all psychic abilities. These are all tools. Yeah. So hone it, use them, because they are going to be necessary before you enter the full moon. But we're not there yet. We're not there yet, because we're still in the new moon. Let your personality shine. You have something no one else has that makes you who you are. Stop comparing yourself to others and allow your uniqueness to shine through. And number 33. Okay, a master number, because you're mastering your psychic abilities, you're mastering yourself. And this is your process of mastering, entering into your self-love. And you might need a few cycles. You might not be the only one, or you might be the only one. Okay. but you're mastering, entering, navigating into your self-love. And once you enter your self-love comfortably, you'll be able to then integrate it further into the next moon phases in the next few months. Okay, there'll be an integration in this moon phase, of course, but there will be all the layers for you to see. And it could be a year of self-love. It could be 6 months of self-love. It could be 3 months of self-love. All right, it's whatever we need. So it's a time for you to learn your abilities here. Every day that we are dealing with it, you learn your psychic abilities, and you will know what they are. And the Stargate of Orion, 5. 5 is change. Yeah, big change. And I think this card, some will resonate with the Stargate of Orion, the belt of Orion. But really what this card energy for me is bringing is your origins. Okay, it's you going within and finding your origins. Where is your self-love stored? What does it look like? What does it feel like? And you're going to have glimpse of these. This is your origin. This is what we were at the origin when we were just a soul. We were pure love, pure self-love. And you are going to have a remembrance of that origin, whatever it is, whether you are angelic origin, galactic origin, other planets origin, other races, or Orion, whatever you are, or even animal origins, okay, you're going to have energetically glimpse of these feelings, sensations. They might not last long, they might last a while, but you will have this glimpse. You won't forget it. You will know. And these origin feelings is what is allowing you to see that you are progressing, you are on the path, you are learning, you are moving, you are changing, you are going deeper into your inner self-love. Okay, so trust every moment. This is not a place for self-doubt. This is a place to trust whatever comes, how it comes. There is no other way. Trust, trust, trust. And again, just a quick summary what to do this week. Stay tuned, stay aware, stay open. Maybe go back to the oracle card and pick up some of the things I mentioned about what to expect in the new moon phase. Again, you're not fully active yet. You're not going out in the world and saying, this is what I want to do. This is what I need to do to protect my self-love. And I'm doing it now. It's not the space, but there's a lot of action within of inner understanding, inner perspectives, inner awareness. This is all reactive, okay? And we could easily bring it and exteriorize this, and it can become projection. So we need to be careful. So really to breathe back in, take that moment to go in your heart, even if it's a minute. And for those that are in the membership, we have a WhatsApp support group, which we can stay in touch daily. The group is always sharing what they're going through, and it helps others to pick up as well different perspectives that can help and elicit and spark something for them. So it's a beautiful place to accelerate this healing, to make it more concrete, and of course we are supporting each other. We're holding space, and one day someone needs more of a love and hug, and then we all able to hold space, and then the next day it's you that needs all that love and hug, and we're able to hold space. So it happens very fluid, and it happens very organic. So I invite you to join us. The Wisdom Activated 369 Patreon membership. You will have access to these videos weekly, so we continue to follow the themes with the moon phases. And as I am releasing this publicly on YouTube, of course, I'm not presenting this to the group, but I decided to bring a full sample of what we do. And of course, in between my talking, it's very open for others to share what they need to share. However, in the Patreon community, as this is happening live, everyone is available to hear and see and interact together. But when I post the recording, I do protect everyone's private information. So if you're sharing anything from your heart, from your situation, that is deleted, okay? And I only share some of the advice, which does not mention name, it does not mention the story, which your story is protected. But if you are on live, that you understand that you are sharing with the live participants, but all the participants are aware, that we keep our privacy very protected, very nurtured. But this is how I like to work. I think it helps people to open up more. It allows their healing to be more amplified, and the recording still carries the energy and still carries the perspectives that can help others to, if they're listening, if they miss the live and they're listening back, it's still very powerful. But I just feel that the live is the space for us to really bring ourselves in. Okay. So I hope you enjoy this, and I look forward to seeing you soon in the Patreon community for another session next week, when we're nearing the first quarter moon. Thank you.